Raditz and Trunks faced off against Vegeta Black in the future, while in the present timeline, Bardock reconnected with someone from his past. As we get closer to the end of Super, what happens next? We'll cover all that and more in the 7th part of What If Goku Met Bardock. The tournament in Power ends up being planned earlier, mainly due to Zeno's boredom. There's not a second Zeno here, so if anything, it's going to happen the second the Super Dragon Balls return, so just about a year out from the Universe X tournament. But this also gives universes more time to plan because it's announced a few weeks ahead of time instead of just a few days. So, Universe 7 is now tasked with getting 10 people for the tournament. The first few members are pretty easy. Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Gohan, Raditz, and Bardock were chosen. They've got 6 members right there. Bardock suggests recruiting Guinea. She might be weaker than the rest of the team, but still, she's a good fighter now, and with Super Saiyan 2, she'll be a nice addition. Now they need 3 more. Goku suggests maybe Krillin and Tien, and there's also Goten and Trunks, but they're still not as experienced as everyone else, although Guinea actually vouches for them. She's been training them a lot, particularly when Piccolo and Gohan aren't around, she's their teacher, and it's been like this for a while. First she was just training Goten, and Trunks has joined too, which kind of surprises Vegeta to hear because he didn't even realize she could train people. He is just a bit concerned because she was left out of Bardock's squad. It seemed like she couldn't keep up as a warrior, but Bardock assures Vegeta that's changed. Somehow Earth made her an even better warrior, despite not joining their fights a bunch. Goten and Trunks are recruited, and she promises to keep them in check. Now they need just one more person. It could be Krillin, it could be Tien, but Goku has an idea. He asked Bardock how strong that granola guy is, because Bardock told him about the abilities that they had as snipers. And Bardock says Granola doesn't seem too powerful, especially in comparison to the rest of the team. Granola never did make his wish here, so right now he's probably just a Saiyan Saga level fighter, maybe a little bit better than that, but otherwise he's not going to be too impressive in comparison to the rest of the team. But Goku thinks he could be an interesting fighter to join, that sniper ability could be useful. So, out of curiosity, Goku wants to go and test his power. The two go to Planet Cereal. Granola's wondering why they're back, and Goku explains what's happening. And he doesn't leave the details out, he tells the truth. The universe is at stake, and they need whoever they can to help with their team. Well, Granola says he's not in love with battle like them, and more importantly, he feels he's not strong enough. Given the stakes, he would help out, but he feels he might be dead weight. So Goku asks to fight him, and Goku fights Granola in base. And he's experienced as a warrior. Given his time under the heaters, he has a lot of experience fighting. Plus, his sniper ability is really interesting. Not just the fact that he can attack from long ranges, but he's good at keeping himself concealed, and of course, targeting vital points is a big thing. And Goku starts to consider this. Krillin and Tien would definitely be stronger options, but Goku asks Granola if he's ever trained. And he has, but not really too consistently. He has a lot of fighting experience, but also a lot of that is just bounty hunter work. And you know, they have more than enough time before the tournament. He wants to actually train Granola, which Bardock's pretty surprised to hear. Same for Granola too. Don't they only have a few weeks to prepare? Well, yeah, but they have a way of getting way more training in within just a single day. Plus, Goku learns that the lifespan of the Cerealians is actually way longer than even a Saiyan's lifespan. Granola's older than Goku, but in terms of Cerealian aging, he's like the equivalent of someone in his early 20s. So, he could spare a year or two in the time chamber. And Goku's fine using that for himself too. It could be a pretty interesting experience. Kami has upgraded the Room of Spirit and Time by now, and Goku goes in with Granola. This allows them to stay in for longer if they want, and Goku hasn't really used it too much here, so it's not like he's significantly eating away at his lifespan or anything. Granola was still kind of hesitant about this too, because, again, he doesn't really love fighting that much, particularly because the Cerealians are a peaceful people, and now that he's not a bounty hunter anymore, he doesn't really have a need to fight. But he always has wondered what his limits were. He did consider wishing for power after all, but he's interested to see where he could truly take himself. In the time chamber he grows pretty quickly. Goku comes to learn that he grows just as quickly as a Saiyan would. If he puts his mind to it, he can become really strong. And over this year in the time chamber, the two of them form a bond, getting to know each other. It's pretty amazing for Granola to see a Saiyan turn out like this. He always thought they were savages, but Goku's the complete opposite. He's a better person than even Granola was. Also, the fact that Goku defeated Frieza, that sits well with Granola. He might not have been the one to get the kill on him, but still, he defeated him originally on Namek, becoming the thing that he feared most. Granola actually does pick up on Godly Ki in the time chamber because all the time around Goku. When they exit the time chamber, he's still definitely not the strongest member on the team, but thanks to his ability of locating vital points, combined with a little bit of Godly Ki and some really good training, it's going to make him a really potent member of the team, and he meets the rest of the people on Earth, staying here for the next few weeks. Monaido came along too, of course. It's a pretty weird planet to him because, first of all, he sees Vegeta, the prince of the Saiyans, and he's a completely reformed person. Not that he ever knew what Vegeta was like before, but this isn't what he expected. He also learns Bardock has another son, and there's a couple hybrid Saiyans here too. 3 of them are on the team, and then there's also Pan and Bra. There's a whole nother generation of Saiyans he didn't even know about. Plus, there are 2 Namekians on this planet too, Kami and Piccolo. What a weird place. Anyways, after a few weeks, the Tournament of Power begins. The team leader this time is actually Bardock. The reason he's chosen is because, well, he's led a team before. The rest of the Saiyans of course trust his experience. And besides Granola, everyone else has fought alongside him at least once before. But his strategy is pretty weird, way different than what Gohan would have used for a strategy. He knows Saiyans fight best alone, so if anyone wants to team up with each other, they could do that. But he thinks it's better for everyone to fight individually. Regroup with people if needed, but being a Saiyan, he loves fighting alone, and he knows the others do too. So everyone pretty much splits up right away. Granola's a little bit lost by this, but, he's supposed to be a sniper anyways, so maybe it's best he goes alone. As he jumps around the ring, he notices that someone else tries to snipe him. And he kinda laughs at this. Really, another sniper's here. Well, he's already found his first target. Actually, it's two people working together. He defeats Prum pretty easily and then finds Harmira, the sniper. He admits that was a pretty good strategy of them working together, but he's the superior sniper here. He's not going to have any sort of competition like that. He'll move around consistently during the tournament, trying to keep himself concealed and also having a good vantage point. He'll act as a support for people, watching over his teammates and stopping them from being eliminated by sneakier fighters. Like, right off the bat, he finds a fighter who's really small, Damon, the little bug dude that eliminated Piccolo, and he eliminates him right off the bat. He also finds Universe 3's androids and finds easy weak spots for them, inadvertently preventing Aniraza from being born. What about the rest of the team? Gine tries to keep Goten and Trunks in check. They kind of fight alone at first, but she joins them. Piccolo's pretty close by and actually hears them talking with Gine. And he's a little surprised at what he hears. She's very strict as a teacher, even more strict than he was with Gohan. She really whipped them into shape. They listen to her like soldiers listening to a general. Wow, he didn't know she could be that scary. But this is good for Goten and Trunks. It keeps them disciplined. No wonder Piccolo's had an easy time training with them recently. Of course, at some point, Goku's going to want to fight Jiren. Bardock was actually about to do the same too, but instead, he ended up fighting Hit. After seeing him in the Universe X tournament, Bardock wanted to challenge him. He never got to fight him there, and he really wanted to. The two fight for a bit, and it's pretty clear that Bardock's ahead. But amidst their battle, they're watching Goku fight Jiren, and they see how badly he's losing. Goku's in blue Kaioken, and Jiren's barely even trying. He almost defeats Goku, and then, on a whim, Bardock goes in to help, and Hit even joins him too. It's completely unplanned, but the three of them start fighting Jiren together. And they actually almost do eliminate him. Hit's able to freeze Jiren in place, while Goku and Bardock attack him, but by showing off a little bit more power, Jiren prevents the two Saiyans from eliminating him, and then he eliminates Hit. Pretty easily, in fact. And that shows how truly crazy his strength is. Even with the three of them fighting together, he was able to push back. Now, of course, the Saiyans are stronger in this scenario, but just Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken alone isn't going to be enough to defeat him. Jiren was fighting a little bit more seriously here than he was in the original story, but still. Anyways, it gets Bardock wondering, where's Raditz at? He's actually fighting the Universe X Saiyans. By now, Raditz actually has Blue Evolution for himself, basically just copying what Vegeta did. He is still the weakest of the four Saiyans, but he's actually close to being on par with all of them now. Even with all that time he lost, he's made great strides recently. And of course he's going to take the chance to fight some other Saiyans. And he basically starts coaching them too, kind of like what Goku did against Caulifla and Kale. He's also fighting Cabba at the same time. But at one point, Caulifla and Kale get pretty desperate and decide to take out the Potara earrings. And just as Kale's about to place hers on, it explodes, and so does Caulifla's. Two blasts fly right past Raditz and hit those earrings head on. He had no clue what the earrings were going to do, but what he does know is that Granola just kind of saved his ass. He looks over to see Granola standing on a pillar, giving a thumbs up, and then jumping away. Caulifla and Kale are pissed off and trying to go after Granola, but Raditz stops them. Cabba goes to chase him down instead. And Raditz commends the two Universe X Saiyans, saying they're pretty great fighters, and he asks what those earrings were going to do, learning that it lets them fuse. Alright, yeah, it's probably good Granola shot them. It was pretty fun fighting them, and he hopes to see them again. Not too far away, Gohan and Piccolo are fighting together. Piccolo is weaker here, and Gohan's using Super Saiyan 4 at his peak instead of Ultimate, but I'll say he's around where he was normally in terms of strength. The two fight the Universe X Namekians together, and then they're tasked with fighting Dispo and Topo. Vegeta's kinda just doing his own thing. He's a little mad to hear that Raditz actually fought the other three Saiyans and eliminated them, because that was his plan. So he's just fighting a bunch of randoms. He really needs someone to test his power out against. Speaking of Universe 6, Granola sees Frost running around. Now, he doesn't really want to judge him right off the bat, but he keeps an eye on Frost and sees he acts exactly like how he knows Frieza acted. And with a single blast, he sends Frost out of the ring. Goku and Bardock try to fight Jiren again at some point. They do a little bit better this time. Jiren's impressed to see that they're already growing during battle. But he defeats both of them again. And this time, two other people sub in for them. Vegeta jumps in first, but then so does Raditz. The two kind of bicker with each other trying to see who's going to fight first. And Jiren tells them it's pointless. They might as well fight together. And Vegeta chuckles. Really now. The two of them power up in the Blue Evolution. You know, it's been a while since he fought alongside Vegeta. It's kind of like old times, isn't it? Vegeta finds it kind of funny too. Yeah, they're just missing an Appa. Anyways, the two fight Jiren together, and they do pretty well. No better than Goku and Bardock did, but they at least buy them some time to recover a little more. Again, Jiren's still not at his full power, but he's more serious than he normally was. Bardock and Goku try to formulate a plan. Universe 7's lost a few warriors so far, Goten, Trunks, and Guine have been eliminated. Piccolo and Gohan are fine right now, and Granola's doing his own thing. But the 4 Saiyans are all over here, and at this rate, they're all going to be eliminated. Bardock suggests Goku does that Spirit Bomb again. Do that thing he tried against Cell where he absorbed the power. Well, Goku's unsure if that'll work. That wasn't intentional, and he doesn't know how it'll work a second time. But maybe a Spirit Bomb could work, at least just a regular one. So, while Jiren's preoccupied with the other two, Goku starts charging energy. All his allies in the stands give energy to him, as well as everyone in the ring. Bardock gives a lot of his as well. And then at the last moment, Raditz gives some of his, and he forces Vegeta to reluctantly give his too. And Jiren notices the Spirit Bomb. Alright, sure. He welcomes that attack. Goku throws a Spirit Bomb, and Jiren has to show off a little more power, but he's able to push it back. At the last moment, Goku powers up into Blue Kaioken to push it back. And the Spirit Bomb's getting closer and closer to him. At this rate, he'll fall in, but he tries to do the same thing he did before. It was completely accidental last time, but maybe he can do it again, trying to absorb the Spirit Bomb into himself. And this time, it actually ends up working. The Spirit Bomb disappears. There's a brilliant flash of light, and now Goku's surrounded by the aura of the Spirit Bomb, while still in Super Saiyan Blue. And just for good measure, he goes Kaioken again. He feels completely rejuvenated. His injuries are healed, all of his stamina's back, and he's also considerably stronger than before. Quickly, Jiren eliminates Vegeta and Raditz, and then rushes over to Goku. Beerus and Whis are watching in the stands. Whis hoped to see Ultra Instinct here, but this is interesting. He didn't know Goku could do something like this. And as Raditz and Vegeta fall out of the ring, they give the last of their energy to Goku. Looks like they're not going to need any of this. Bardock gives all of his as well. Goku and Jiren begin clashing. Goku could barely contain this. Thanks to the control of Super Saiyan Blue, it is a little bit easier than last time, but he's pushing himself to his absolute limits here, especially with Kaioken. But the good thing about this is it makes him more than powerful enough to actually face Jiren, and Jiren goes into his full power. Gohan, Piccolo, Bardock, and Granola are still in the ring, although Bardock can barely fight because he lost all his energy. In order to help a little more, Gohan and Piccolo lend theirs too. Since the Spirit Bomb still is active, they could still contribute energy, and Goku keeps growing stronger and stronger. Jiren's actually having a really tough time here, and at the very last moment, something weird happens with Goku. The final embers of the Spirit Bomb ignite something else within Goku. The aura of Kaioken completely vanishes around him, and his blue hair falls down, still flowing, but now black again. Goku lets out a powerful roar, and hits Jiren with a single punch. The punch is so strong, it shakes the world of Void, and Jiren can't defend against it. It sends him flying right through the ring, so fast that he can't respond in time. And Whis arches an eyebrow when he sees this. At that very last second, Goku activated Ultra Instinct Omen, attacking completely on instinct. But then all the power of the Spirit Bomb dissipates, and Goku falls through the same hole in the ring that he sent Jiren into, also getting eliminated. A few people remain in the ring, a barely conscious Bardock, Piccolo, Gohan, and Granola. And for the MVP, the person chosen is Granola. He actually has the most eliminations here, and faced with the Super Dragon Balls, he wonders what to wish for. A few months back, he would have wished for more power for himself. But he's not driven by revenge anymore, and he knows he can grow a lot stronger on his own. Not that he really needs it anyways, but it would be interesting to see how far he can go. But seeing how those around him act, and after spending that year with Goku, he's pushed into being a lot better. The only reason he joined this tournament in the first place was because he thought his universe would be destroyed. It was completely out of self-preservation, so he can kind of get how everyone else in this tournament felt. And because of that, he makes the right wish, wishing for every other universe to be restored. And with that, we'll leave off here for now. What'd you guys think about this part? What'll happen next in the finale? Leave your thoughts and ideas in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think. As usual, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps out the channel, and it shows me you want to see more videos like this. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.